Hi, my name is Danielle and I'm the Conservation and Youth Education Specialist with the Colorado State Forest Service. Today we're going to do an activity from Project Learning Tree called Sounds Around. You can find this activity at plt.org by visiting Resources and clicking on Free Activities for Families. In this section, you'll find over 30 different activities that you can do with your families, either in a local park, in your own backyard, or even around your home. For today's activity, you're going to need at least 2 sheets of paper, a pencil, and a clipboard. You can even make your own by using a cardboard and a paper clip. Optional materials include a smartphone, a disposable cup, it can be paper or plastic, and some scissors. To start our activity, I want you to think about what are some of your favorite sounds. Go ahead and on one of your sheets of paper, this will be your note paper for the activity, see if you can write down at least 3 to 5 different sounds. You can pause the video and then when you're ready, go ahead and hit play. Welcome back. What did you come up with? Some of my favorite sounds include water rushing through a river, birds singing, and of course, my favorite songs on the radio. Well, now we've mentioned some of our favorite sounds, let's take a look at how do we hear those sounds. The first thing to know about sounds is that it travels as a form of energy in a wave. Also, sounds need something to travel through. In this case, we can see the sound is traveling through air molecules, having them push and bump against each other. Sound can also travel through water. It doesn't do very well in a vacuum. So if you've ever seen an astronaut doing a spacewalk, they need to use radios to talk to each other. Well, once the sound gets to your ear, then it's going to travel down your ear canal till it reaches the eardrum. This energy will cause the eardrum to vibrate and move these small bones found in the middle of your ear. Those bones are attached to this organ here called the cochlea, which is filled with a liquid and hair-like receptors that take the energy from the sound waves and change them into signals that your brain can receive. Another good thing to know is that as humans, we have 2 ears, which helps us to figure out what direction the sound is coming from. If you look at this picture here, you can see that the sound from the bird is reaching this ear just microseconds before this ear, and our brains are able to pick up on those differences and tell that the direction the bird sound is coming from. So we're going to take this information and create our very own sound map. For this part, you'll need your paper, your clipboard, pencil, and if you have it, a timer. What you're going to do is find a spot where you can be comfortable outside. Here you have a picture of me next to my favorite tree in my backyard. And then when you find your place, you're going to close your eyes and listen for 3 minutes. The reason why you're going to close your eyes is because one of our senses is not being used. The other ones are heightened. So you'll actually be able to pick up on some more sounds. Now, you can use your timer to count for 3 minutes, or you can make an estimate. For example, I know that I can breathe in and out 12 times in 1 minute. So in 3 minutes, I could count my breaths for 36 breaths, and that would be 3. After you had 3 minutes with your eyes closed, you're going to go ahead and open your eyes so you can record your observations on your sound map. On your piece of paper, your other blank sheet, you're going to put an X in the middle. That will be you. And then you can use pictures, symbols, or words to fill in the different sounds that you heard. Paying attention to where those sounds were, how close they were, and what direction they came from. Be as detailed as possible. If you hear more along the way, you can add more details to your sound map. Now's your chance to try it out. Pause and then hit play when you're ready to come back. All right, welcome back. Well, let's take a moment now on your note paper to summarize what you heard. What types of sounds did you hear? Where did they come from? Machines, animals, humans, or plants? What sounds did you like? What sounds didn't you like? Take a few moments, pause here, write those down, and when you're ready, hit play. All right, welcome back again. Well, now we're going to look at how animals are adapted to use sound to help them with different things that they may need. If you look here in this picture, you can see this fox is using its adaptations with its ears to listen carefully, and that's going to enable the fox to actually hunt in snowy conditions where it wouldn't be able to see its food. It's going to use its keen sense of hearing to hear where the food is at. Here are examples of 3 more animals that have special adaptations for sound. Can you notice what they are? Take a moment and jot down what you think they have to help them hear better, and then when you're ready, hit play. What did you see? On the left, did you notice that this horse is able to use its ears and move them in 2 different directions? This is really important for a horse to pick up on predators, as it is eating when it's eating its food and it can't look up and see around. Did you notice the elephant? How large its ears are? That extra surface area helps the elephant to funnel more noises in from further away to reach that ear canal. What did you think about the owl? It might have been hard to see the ears on the owl, but did you notice its cone-shaped face? That face, that shape of its face helps to direct the sound into its ears, enabling it to pick up more for when it hunts at night and it is more difficult to see. Well, now you have a chance to make your own animal ears. If you have these supplies, you'll need a cup and some scissors. If not, you can actually use your hands to cup around and make your own animal ears. But if you have the supplies, what you'll want to do is cut a hole in the bottom of your cup. Please find a family member to help you out with this, especially if you have a plastic cup. You'll cut out the bottom and then you'll slip the cup over your ear, like you can see me here in this picture, and see, does it make a difference? Can you hear more noises with this adaptation? So take a moment, create your animal ears, and then go back out to where you made your sound map and see if there's any other sounds you can now pick up with. Once again, hit pause, and then when you're ready to come back, go ahead and hit play. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you were able to add some more sounds to your sound map. Now we're going to take a look at what's the difference between sound and noise. Well, it's really in the ear of the beholder. Sound and noise is simply sounds that are unwanted, things that we don't like. But noise can also create pollution, just like we have pollution in our air or of trash around. If it's too much of something that we don't want, that could actually be harmful. And to help us look at that even more in depth, if you take a look at this diagram here, sound is measured in a unit called decibels, abbreviated dB, and you'll notice on the lower end of things we have smaller decibels, and as we work our way up, those numbers increase. What that means is over time, if we're exposed to a large amount of decibels, loud sounds, that can actually be harmful. It damages those receptors in our ears and they are no longer able to pick up on sound. So we're going to use that information and collect some more data for our sound map. For this, you can actually download a sound meter app. There's several free ones available. And what you can do, you'll notice as we're talking right here, it has the number with the decibel levels. There's different ones that it's reading at. Right now I'm around a 50. It says conversation. What you're going to do is take your tool and go back outside on your sound map and record the different levels that you hear. I did want to point out on my sound map, this square right here is my yard, and there were also sounds that I couldn't walk to. They were further away, but I could still hear them. Make some recordings in the space that you can walk around. You might notice that the sound here, wind blowing really close to me, was really low at 31 decibels. And when we got closer to the cars, even though I wasn't right next to them, it still increased in the amount of sound or noise that I heard. If you don't have a sound meter, you can just write louder, loudest, make some relative observations on the levels of those sounds. So once again, you're going to take a pause, and then when you come back and you're ready, go ahead and hit play. All right, welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and write down some observations of what you found on your note paper. What did you notice? Were some areas louder than others? And what did those areas look like? Were they wide open, or were there things surrounding them? Take a few minutes to pause, write down your observations, and when you're ready to come back, hit play. Well, you might have noticed on your sound map there was some really high areas or areas that you wanted to change. So I want you to think about, what could you do to reduce noise? What are some possible solutions? Well, one of the answers is trees. Trees can act as a barrier. You might have noticed that open areas are louder than areas that are blocked off or enclosed. And we can use this knowledge to create barriers. Trees serve as a great example to block off areas that have a lot of noise that we don't want to receive. Trees have been found to reduce noise levels by as much as 50%. You can take this information and do a little bit more investigation. There's a couple different questions that you can take a look at. First, did noise levels change at different times of day? Is the morning louder than the afternoon? Go ahead and make those observations, recording data throughout the day at different times and then on multiple days. Also, take a look at who's affected by the noise. Does anyone else in your household notice it? Are they bothered by it? And then if you do decide that the noise is a problem, what are your options? We talked about trees. Other solutions include building barriers out of materials such as wood or concrete. You want to explore those different things, seeing what do they cost? Resource availability. Are you able to get the materials? And how much time will it take to put your plan into action? Once you have those ideas, go ahead and jot down what are some next steps that you would like to take. Some other great resources. Once again, this activity was found in PLT's Nature-Based Activities for Families. It was adapted from PLT's original Environmental Education Activity Guide for Educators, which has this and 96 other different activities related to exploring nature with forest as windows on the world. You can also check out Rocky Mountain National Park Sound Library and compare your home to sounds that are at the national park. And check out Kids Discover. There's a lot of great different lessons all about sounds with activities that you can do. Here are some different reference materials that I used for my presentation. And I want to give you a thank you for spending time and learning about sounds that are all around us today. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.